Waffles, and today we're gonna play Avatar: The Last Airbender, Quest for Balance. I'm gonna start by saying I don't have high hopes for this. I love Avatar. I love the Legend of Korra. I love the lore. I've played the TTRPG. I've made TTRPG hacks. I absolutely love the world of Avatar. But I don't know. This game did not look impressive to me. But I believe that the game is made as an entry point for people who have not experienced the series, right? There's, the first Avatar came out 10, 15 years ago? Maybe even more. So I think this is a way for people to get into Avatar because they're going to be making more Avatar content and they want people to be familiar with it. They should probably just go watch the TV show. I know that watching old TV shows is not cool, but yeah. So I love Avatar, but I don't have high hopes for this. Welcome in, Bubble. How's it going?
She'll be here any minute.
But this is our pie show day, Iroh.
Do not worry, my friend. The director assured me this would only take a few minutes of our time, just to confirm some details. And there she is.
And I'm pretty sure they can't have the original voice actor for Iroh because I'm pretty sure he passed away.
Allow me to introduce myself.
Good to hear you're doing well. How am I doing? I've been busy. Today was the first day I gotta go to the gym, so I gotta go swim for an hour plus. Came home, put dinner in the crock pot. I'm making my first loaf of bread. So yeah, very excited to eat dinner tonight. Try number 2 at making something edible.
Well, it seemed obvious that the play needed a refresh.
I am so proud of Zuko.
Yes, as we all are. Which is why I wish to mount a brand new production. And who better to tell the tale, to set the record straight, if you will, than you three, who have seen it all.
You could say that.
No, I have. And I did. And so, I entreat you, my dear, eminent, respected, wise, and, dare I say, more than a little handsome gentleman, to lavish upon me the tale of the Avatar from the beginning.
From the beginning?
If you please. I will listen and record for all posterity the real, true story.
Emmy, welcome in.
Not one.
This is not what I thought it was going to be. Yeah, I thought it was just going to be a retelling of the original story, but we've already got some original content, so that's nice to see. Nice to see some new Avatar stuff.
Well, allow me to begin. People often talk about the calm before the storm. But this story begins with the storm before the calm. And
oh, storm before the calm. How clever.
I like the art well enough. They did good with the art. The music is nice.
Lizard mouse. Lizard mouse.
Thank you. Now, as I was saying, the storm before the calm.
That's very classic Avatar right there. I like that.
No way!
I don't know how I feel about this art style, though. Like, when I saw the screenshots of this art, I was immediately like, I don't think I'm going to like this game. And I still don't know how I feel about the art.
Yes. Oh yeah.
What I'm most surprised to see so far is that this game only has like 150 views on Twitch. Like, no one is watching this game at all. but like millions of people tuned in to watch the Peppa Pig game, and I'm sure the Bluey game has its own cult following too. So I'm really curious why this game, with a great story, is getting nothing, whereas those other two games for quote kids are blowing up. I don't know if it's just the memes or what. Not off to a great start so far. Like, even for a kid's game, that's a little too simple, I feel like. But if this leads to more Avatar games and good Avatar games, I'm more than willing to take it.
And they plunged into the ocean. The Avatar and his bison remained in the ice for 100 years, until Katara and her brother Sokka discovered him. How could this boy in the iceberg possibly be the long-lost Avatar? At first, Sokka was suspicious, but Aang's charm and true nature eventually won him over. The three became fast friends, and Aang was welcomed by the people of the Southern Water Tribe.
Interesting story building with this. In the first couple episodes, when they're out in the ice, Aang never says that he's cold, and you might think, oh, well, just because it's a cartoon, you know, he's just wearing the same outfit he always wears, so of course he's not going to be cold. But it's actually because airbenders don't get cold because their breathing allows them to stay warm. So it's kind of an interesting bit of world lore that you see that it's consistent, and they thought that well in advance. We also learn by the end of Avatar that this initial ship that they're riding on was one that Katara's grandmother? Yeah, I think Katara's grandmother actually is the one who marooned this ship, so it's all connected to the Avatar as well. They couldn't have gotten a voice at least close to Iroh. I don't know that they could have gotten a voice close to Iroh, to be honest. He has such a unique voice. Okay, we can build ice walls. We can do our water whip.
What?
Okay. Did Iroh have two voice actors? I thought he got to finish the last episode before he passed. Was the bread kneading okay? Yeah, the bread was cycling through its thing just fine. I just checked on it not long ago and it was doing okay.
Sure thing.
Oof. See, I think this is something that a lot of children's games really fail at. Like, they give children zero credit for figuring out a game. Like, literally, it had to pause the game and give me a cutscene to tell me the item that I need is 2 feet from me. Really, you couldn't just let a kid explore and figure that out. You have to hold the hand for absolutely everything. Like, I think The Legend of Zelda in the olden days did it very well. This one, so far, not so much. Considering reading in English is an extracurricular in Florida now. The room isn't very big, so I need to collect door handles. Apparently. The running animation is awful, too. Like, I don't know exactly what they did to Katara, but, like, it looks like her torso is moving separately from her legs. Like, I really feel like they messed up the run animation. Aang, too. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't sure about the art style, and I'm more sure that I'm not sure of the art style than I ever was before. Kids do need the hand-holding. See, you say that. You say that, but, you know, when I played video games, I was 2, 3, and they had no tutorials back then. So I think if we gave kids credit for it, they could figure it out. I think they could do it. We find Appa, or just an Appa statue. I wonder if we could do this. I wonder if they intend you to move this around so that you have to do it, but I wonder if you can just, like, with the game mechanics, complete this challenge the incorrect way. My parents did encourage critical thinking and were very intelligent. That is true. Okay, that doesn't work. How about this? That jump seems doable if you do the double jump correctly. 4-year-old want to be a CEO. You weren't and aren't exactly the average American. That is true. That is definitely true. Okay, so can I get over there with a proper lag on a double jump? That I'm less certain of, but you know, we're gonna... Well, I just broke our thing, so... Okay, I guess we're gonna have to do it the correct way. I love you too. I really hope dinner turns out good tonight. I really hope you enjoy what I'm making. I like making things in the crock pot, not just because it's easy, but also because it's very easy.
Huh.
Ooh, we've got our first puzzle. We've got a giant fan. I wonder if you have to airbend the giant fan. Okay, you've got a fan to airbend. Okay. Simple enough. That's why we're starting off crock-pot meals easy enough. They are definitely easy enough to learn, and we certainly don't have to risk wasting anything. It's like even the chili, if it didn't turn out the best, was still edible and good enough. So I do enjoy me the crock-pot recipes.
It opened. Yep. Huh. Yeah. Hit.
All right. Step 1 done. A part of me feels greatly that we are not going to stream this for the entire stream today. I do not know that this will be entertaining enough to go all the way through.
Yep.
The music is pretty. I will give them that. Yes, the music is pretty. And the art for the cutscenes was really nice. I liked the art for the cutscenes, so that was good. I'm sure the answer is absolutely not, but let's check. I wonder if they have an idle animation. Like, if I just make Aang stand here for too long, will he do the thing he does in the TV series where he like takes the balls out and makes them twirl? I'm curious if they put any effort into the game at all. So let's stand here for a second and see if he has an idle animation at the very least, or says a silly joke, or does anything. Come on, Aang. All eyes are on you. Entertain us with your magic spinning balls, or tell a joke, or ride around on your air scooter, or something. Do something. You caught me while I was already drinking, Emmy. I was already hydrating. Alright, it does not look like we have any idle animations, so that honestly does not surprise me too much, to be honest. So how exactly did collecting 3 door handles allow me to open a gate but not put any handles into it? Like, there were no handles on that door, so why did collecting 3 things make that happen? Ooh, we got a map.
Oh
Or war plans. You need a snack redeem option. I just ate.
no. It's
I just finished eating all the chili, so I don't need any snacks. I just ate so much chili. Because we didn't have room for it, because the fridge is getting full because of Thanksgiving and all the stuff we need to do during Thanksgiving, so... I really don't like the mysterious narrator voice guiding Aang's path. Like, was that really necessary? I don't feel that was a necessary addition, but we get our air scooter now. Move boxes and cylinders to clear a path and bring a torch to the altar. Oh boy. Is this really a challenge? Like, that's a very, very loose word. Loose definition of the word challenge, I feel, if the box can only move one way. I would also say loosely using the word puzzle on these as well. Also, why is the fire involved? Like, we know that there's no fire bending at this point, so why are they doing things with fire? I get they're just using all the elements, but... So we gotta get the... fire over here. There's water in the way. Give it a gentle nudge. Where's Zuko when we need him?
It opened.
Maybe I'm just being too harsh on it. It is a kid's game, but did we really need a cutscene of the door opening and him saying the door is open? One or the other suffice? Do we need both? Alright, we got the ability to move boxes now. And more high show tiles.
Oh.
I always thought Avatar would be an amazing MMO. I always thought it would be awesome to get to choose, you know, your element, and then rather than classes, you just have your elements. I think it could make a pretty awesome MMO, but I don't think we're ever going to see that, unfortunately. Alright, so we get a talent tree of sorts. Bending gauges, more damage. Or your next attack more powerful. Okay.
Aang and Katara sprang a trap, endangering the village. Told to leave the village, Aang flew away on Appa, but saw that the trap...
Alright, do we get to do penguin sledding now, at least? Alright, I'll be less harsh on it now, because you get to do penguin sledding at the very least, so... Is this just like Subway Surfers? Like, it's not even an actual race, it's just Subway Surfers? Oh, I take it back. I'm gonna be just as harsh on them. Is this really... We're just doing Subway Surfers? Okay.
Yeah!
I think my problem with the art is right there. Like, his face looks so lifeless, so
Aang returned to the village
unexpressive. And Aang is just so expressive of a character.
The Fire Nation would leave the village alone, taken to Zuko's ship.
Oh, excuse me. Okay, I'm not a fan of this either, simply from a storytelling perspective. And again, I know that it's a game, so you have to fight because that's what you do in games. But the original way that Aang escaped from the first firebenders, again, was such a brilliant piece of storytelling because they had him handcuffed because they'd never fought a firebender or an airbender before, right? So they had no idea what to expect. And so he was able to break free because they only bound his hands, not realizing that he could blow air as a weapon. And that was a really cool piece of world building and storytelling, showing that people truly had no idea what the airbenders were capable of because no one had seen them in so long. And so to reduce that scene, which was just great storytelling and fun, kind of showed you Aang's thinking, to just a simple press square to beat the guy up, is kind of an injustice to Aang, right?
Oh, yeah!
I guess my biggest question now is going to be, are they going to make us play through the worst episode of all time? The Great Divide. Are we going to have to do that? Or the Secret Tunnel?
Oh. We'll get right
Again, not really certain that was any form of a puzzle. It was literally just click the buttons in the order that it needed to be clicked in.
choice.
Secret Tunnel. The Secret Tunnel was a great episode.
Opened.
They just played it way too many times. I feel like The Great Divide also got played way too many times, mostly because you could watch it as a standalone episode, so you didn't need to really pay attention or know the story to know what was happening, and so they just played it way too many times.
Here we go. Sure thing.
Okay, the avatar statues allow you to save and change characters. No characters available. I took my ADHD meds with coffee this morning without thinking it would do anything, and now I can climb Everest. Is that a good or a bad thing? Are you just like super alert, or is it the bad kind of anxiety? Like, maybe mobile games have just ruined it for me, but every one of these puzzles basically feels like one of those cheap, awful, cell phone games at this point. Like, it doesn't feel like they're trying.
I have no choice.
Also, an interesting thing we talked about when we were talking about the Avatar lore was in the very end. Of course, Avatar Aang has to make the difficult decision on whether or not to take out Ozai or keep his peaceful, airbending, loving ways and not hurt him. Loud T-Rex is here. Welcome in, Loud T-Rex. How you doing? And you know, a big thing Aang is struggling with is his people don't do violence, right? And so he didn't want to harm Ozai in that way. But if we look back at the first season when they're talking, they open up the air temple and he finds Monk Yatsu. You know, he's surrounded by dead Fire Nation soldiers, right? And those soldiers had to have died some way, right? Like, they didn't just magically die when they entered the room. Monk Yatsu obviously took them out, right? So, like, and he looked up to Monk Yatsu. So, why does he have it in his head that airbenders don't do that when obviously the airbenders were taking people out left and right? Like, I just don't... I don't want to call that a plot hole because he is a kid and makes stupid decisions, but...
I am Zuko, son of Ursa and Fire Lord Ozai, Prince of the Fire Nation and heir to the throne.
I don't think that's Zuko's voice either, is that?
And you will be my prisoner.
Is that Zuko? That one actually sounds kind of close. Oh, look at that health bar.
With you, I'll fulfill my destiny. I don't think so.
I don't want to fight you!
I've got you last. You're mine, Avatar. No, you don't.
What did I do to you?
With you, I'll never stop hunting you.
This is a pretty lame boss fight, not gonna lie.
Nice ship you have here. Hey!
I'm taking you to the Fire Nation as my prisoner.
I don't want to fight you!
I'm sorry, Uncle.
All right, we took him down.
Yeah!
We saved the world. Game over. GG, everyone. Wait, I think they skipped over something important. We won the boss fight.
Did
Why?
you see that?
Why are we unconscious now? We won.
Aang! Are you okay?
Hey, Katara. Hey, Sokka. Thanks for coming.
Well, I couldn't let you have all the glory.
This was a pretty cool scene from the original show, so I'm glad they included that. That was a pretty awesome scene when they did that. Okay, we got an airbending scroll. Air Sphere Plus. Ooh, fancy. The Waffle Bender. Trap attacks.
After escaping from Prince Zuko, the Avatar excitedly flew his friends to the Southern Air Temple, the home he had run away from 100 years
Oh,
prior.
speaking of, here's the
He
scene
felt
right here.
shame for abandoning his old mentor, Gyatso, and for running away from his responsibility. Aang entered the Air Temple
Oh,
sanctuary,
I missed something from...
expecting to meet someone who could help him on his Avatar journey. Instead, He found
Okay, I mean,
a
enjoy
flying
work.
lemur who became
I'll
Aang's
see you
friend.
soon.
Upon exploring the air temple further, Aang made a startling discovery
No.
and was forced to confront a dark truth. All the air nomads, including Aang's friends and his mentor, had been wiped out by the Fire Nation. He became overwhelmed and entered the Avatar state, which would have led to disaster if not for Katara. And that's when Aang faced the hardest truth of all. He was the last of his people, the last airbender. He felt he needed the advice of the Avatar who'd come before him, Roku, but didn't know how to get it. So Aang and his friends continued on their journey.
Oh, we gotta go Kyoshi Island. And we get to play Subway Surfers again. I do not believe this is how it happened in the show. I guess we got to use the special ability. Fish are out to get us.
That didn't turn out so good.
It may look like I'm doing poorly, but I swear it's the controls. It's got like a lag to how fast you can move between things.
I did it! Yay!
Soon after his return, Aang, Katara, and Sokka were captured by the Kyoshi warriors, thinking the heroes were Fire Nation spies. But once Aang proved he was the Avatar, he got royal treatment and a legion of fans.
Like, as I'm going through this, I know I've already been harsh on it so far, but I just don't understand who this game is for. Like, obviously people who've already played Avatar know the story, and if you haven't watched Avatar, why wouldn't you just watch the show? Well, the show was so good, like... Excuse me, why wouldn't you just watch the show instead of this? Because it's darn near a perfect show, like... I think you would struggle to actually find something to validly complain about in Avatar overall. Certainly there's some little things you can nitpick here and there, like the ending that I didn't like so much, but as a whole it's darn near a perfect show. Like, it does still hold up today. That's what's really impressive about it. It's the art style is stylized in such a way that, like, it doesn't look old, it doesn't look outdated. It's just an incredible show all around.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
The story is good, the morals are good. it actually makes me sad of when I talk to some people about it, because I talk a lot in the Christian Catholic communities, and there's a lot of Christian families who won't let their kids watch Avatar because it has the Buddhism and the past lives and reincarnation, and to them it's basically like, oh, it's just witchcraft, like it. And I see your point, sort of, but like it's one of those things where you have to teach your kid at some point the difference between your morals, your religion, and what's made up, right? So I feel like Avatar is a great place to start with that, to say, hey, this part is not true, but this part is true. And, these are good life lessons, and these are good morals for you to have, and all those sort of things, rather than just outright saying, no, you can't watch it all because it's obviously some sort of evil show because it features the reincarnation. That it's such a solid show. It's a shame that kids would miss out on it. I know a lot of kids got the same treatment with Harry Potter, right? That they got the same thing where they just wanted to watch Harry Potter and they were unable to watch Harry Potter because witches and witchcraft, and he missed out on a whole thing. But I never agreed with that one either. Never agreed on the ban of Harry Potter, or the ban on Pokemon, the ban on Avatar. Search the village for bandits.
Here we go.
Also, since we're on the topic of games that aren't so good, I am trying so hard to like Starfield. And like Starfield has mixed reviews right now. Some people love it, some people hate it, and I'm trying so hard to love it, but I can't. Like, the world is so huge, which is great, but there's barely anything in it, and like I feel punished for some of the choices I've made in the game already. Like, I really wanted to use pistols. I thought it'd be fun to be like a pistol slinging character. And all the pistols I've found in the game so far are just absolutely the worst weapons that I've used. And you can't, as far as I can tell, respec. So it's like you either have to restart to get your points back, or just accept that now your character is flawed and you wasted some of your points in some bad things. And there's just so many loading screens in the game, unnecessary transitions. And like, it doesn't even feel like a space game. It feels like I'm just going from menu to menu. Fast travel here, fast travel there, go in here, do that. I can see why it's got mixed reviews. I don't think it's a great game. And I worried that even putting like mods on it isn't gonna make it a great game. I feel like unless they do a huge DLC that really, really changes the way the entire game works, I feel like it's just going to kind of be lost and forgotten. And that's definitely a shame, considering, Bethesda. People look forward to their games. They don't come out often, so really a big disappointment. Am I just pushing the one in there, or? Okay, so we need Katara to come over here and waterbend for us. Because apparently the water is absolutely deadly. I'm pretty sure, you know, the Avatar could probably handle water, or, you know, the waterbender could probably handle some water. I don't know, maybe that's just me.
Hey! Sure thing.
All right, in we go. Hit the switches, move the platforms, create an upward path, face challenges. Okay, simple. Okay. All right. Seems simple enough.
We can keep going.
Okay.
No!
Lose your double jump when you swap characters. That's gonna be a pain.
Ouch!
Or can only Aang make that jump? I just want to make it to the other side, right? Like, that's all I need to do is make it. Okay, so I can't ride the platforms around because they go through the thing. Okay. That should be good. There we go. I could move that back, but I feel like I might be able to make that jump. If I plotted correctly, I think I could make that jump. I don't know why, I just feel like trying to break the game, you know, trying to find different ways to make it work where it's not supposed to. Some nice little wisdom from the monk. Alright, let's keep going then.
Can't let this get out of hand.
Back to Aang. Grab that chest. This game is a game. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling about it. I don't know why it exists. Like I said, it feels like they should just encourage people to watch the TV show rather than play this. And it's a shame because Avatar Studios has been like super hyped about. They've been talking about all sorts of new games that they're coming out with, and new TV shows, and new comics, and so I know that they're really excited for a lot of what they're doing.
My cabbages!
At least you can break the Cabbage Man's cart. Like, at least they included that detail, right? That's a nice little touch, I guess. But I feel like they're just better off encouraging people to watch the show and what's already been made rather than this. I need an air scooter. I want to move faster. I'm pretty sure that this is the, or at least a part of this is the soundtrack that they play when he's running away from all the girls in Kyoshi Island. So I do recognize, I think that music is related to that. So again, cool callback to the show. So they're doing great on the music. But when the gameplay is the worst part of the game, you know you've messed up, right? Like, the gameplay can't be the worst part of the game.
No.
Excuse me.
And all the targets before the timer runs out. What targets? What am I looking at exactly here? There was just like, as long as it's nostalgic enough, it'll sell. See, I've never thought the Avatar studio was money grubby in that way, so I was really hoping that this game wouldn't be that, but it definitely feels like they're trying to take advantage of people want it. So I don't know. Like I said, maybe I'm just being overly harsh. Maybe if I was 4 or 5, you know, this game would be enjoyable. And I would think it's the best thing ever. Maybe it's just, as I've talked about many times, right? It's okay to say that certain things aren't for me, right? It's okay for things to be made that aren't made for us. It's okay for people to make games and movies and videos and stuff that aren't meant for us. So maybe I'm the wrong audience. Maybe if someone had never seen Avatar before, they would enjoy this quick way of getting through bits and pieces of the story, but
peaceful enough. But the quiet was shattered.
I don't know. I just don't think people would, you know?
Oh no.
Especially the voice acting is terrible. Her literal entire town is burning down, and all you can muster up is, "Oh no, my childhood home is on fire."
Looks like we'll have to fight our way out. Mess with the turtle duck. Team Avatar for the win.
Not a huge fan of the way they've portrayed Sokka so far either. His voice definitely sounds off. And his mannerisms are off.
I can't let up now. Team Avatar for the win. Can't let him get to me.
Like, I guess I should start trying. Like, I'm just sitting here getting hit. I guess maybe I should put some effort into not dying here, but... Yeah, I guess I should put some effort into it.
Avatar.
Oh, at least you get a nice little taunt. I will say, so back in the NES days, game over screens were brutal back in the day, and it was kind of a lost art, and then like the Batman games brought them back really, really good, where the game would just taunt you for dying. And that's something I've always enjoyed, is having, you know, the game make fun of you for losing or give you a good game over screen. Like Banjo-Kazooie had a great memorable one where if you failed, your sister got turned into a witch, and you got to see that, and it was just like a really good, like, oh man, I failed and I get to see the consequences of that failing. I feel like more games need a good game over screen. Again, I feel like that's a lost art these days, is a good game over screen. A nice punch in the pants for failing, you know?
Didn't put up much of a fight.
Oh, we got to unlock some stuff for Suki now. Get a boss fight with Zuko again.
Stop hiding behind these little girls, Avatar. They can't save you.
I'm here, Zuko.
So, you came out of hiding. Smart move, Avatar.
I do think that's Zuko. I think they got Zuko. Excuse me. Just gonna be the same fight as last time.
Stop following me!
Hey, I'll never stop hunting
Leave these people alone!
Okay, they're trying to make it a little harder. They upped it a little bit. They gave him minions.
Your friends will get hurt if you don't surrender.
Okay, you can't dodge through that.
Hey, got you at last.
No! It's me, you. This is getting serious. Ow.
Man, this game is so unresponsive. Like, as soon as you click one button, you're like fully committed to it. So I was like trying to dodge in there, it just would not let me dodge at all.
Why are you after me? Uh-oh.
I'll never stop hunting you. Hey, not strong enough.
Alright, we took down Zuko again.
Yeah! Look what I brought to this place. These people got their town destroyed trying to protect me.
It's not your fault. Let's get out of here. Zuko will leave Kyoshi Village to follow us.
Appa! Yip yip!
The villain grunt. Grr, curse you, Avatar. Okay, we got the water whip.
The Avatar and his friends then traveled to Omashu in search of his old friend. Boo.
Okay, but they just missed like a really important part there, right? Like, Aang helped put out the fires of the village
Who are you calling?
with the Unagi, right? He didn't just leave it to burn to the ground.
The king of Omashu imprisoned Katara and Sokka. Aang would have to pass 3 tests and win a duel if he wanted to save his friends. Then the king posed a final question.
What is my name?
Aang realized the king was none other than Bumi himself.
It was all for a purpose. Aang had to learn that you don't just wake up one day, especially after 100 years, ready to challenge Fire Lord Ozai.
But Aang had a challenge for you, did he not?
Oh, yes. Indeed he did. One we faced together.
The story is going really fast. It is. It's like, I get, again, it's a video game, so they can't just have us watch all the movies, you know, can't have just watch the entire TV series, but I do feel like they're really missing key and important parts that make Avatar as special as it is, you know? I feel like they're skipping over a lot of important stuff. Yes, putting out forest fires for money. All in the day of the Avatar. I, too, punch trees when I need a little extra spare change. Okay, why do we have a water-bending circle here? Maybe for later? Side quests. I don't really feel the need nor want to do side quests, you know? All right. Who's the guy we need to talk to? Excuse me. Treasure chest up there we could try and get. Put out some fires here, maybe. No. Again, I know I've said this a few times, like, this music is just spot on. They got, like, good, hopeless, scary-sounding music.
Yep.
They did a great job on the score. Clear the debris around the village. Okay. We'll just blow it around with air. We're basically a leaf blower at this point. A really powerful leaf blower. Just pushing the debris around from one place to another. I saw an acorn pop out. There's one here too. I have a feeling that'll be important for something. No debris there. All right. Nothing incredibly exciting here. I think we're about an hour in at this point. I feel like we have given this game a fair enough chance. I feel like we don't need to play this all the way through. I don't think or feel like it's going to get any better than it is here. Right? This is... Well, it's one of those things where, like, some people are saying, we're talking about Starfield and how I don't think it's a very good game either. There's some people who are like, well, if you give it 20 hours, after 20 hours it gets better. Like, if a game doesn't improve in the first hour, I think it's really unreasonable to expect someone to put in 20 hours to get the game to be good, right? I feel like 20 hours is unreasonable. 1 hour, okay, good enough. 20 hours, no way. And like here, it feels like they're completely just wasting time. So I had to run around the village and get rid of all the debris, and now I have to run around the village and get rid of all the fires. But I saw the fires and already attacked them while I was doing the debris. Why do they want me to do basically the same quest twice? Do we really need to waste my time in that way? Couldn't I just do both at once, or wouldn't one have sufficed?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
And now bandits appear. Let me guess, when I come back over here, there's gonna be bandits now? Yep.
You gave me no choice.
Like, this is almost as bad as World of Warcraft was coming to go over there and complete this quest. Good, now that you've come back and returned this quest, go back over there again and kill other mobs that are a little bit stronger. Okay, good, now come back. Now go back and kill the boss that's a little bit farther in, like... some next level time wasting.
Aang waited in the village for
Oh,
his
excuse
bound to
me.
return at night. His plan to stop the
Let's do this.
I have enough to buy one of the bending scrolls. I guess we could do that. I feel like once we finish this, we're gonna be already into the season finale. I feel like once this quest is done, we'll be at the North Pole probably, and that's super fast. Alright, what kind of puzzle do we have now? So, yawning so much, so tired. I was talking to Emmy because I got up at 4 a.m. again this morning. I'm trying really hard to change my sleeping schedule, but I'm like falling asleep and waking up and only getting between like 7 hours of sleep, 8 hours of sleep. I just feel like that's part of like becoming an old man now, is that as I get older, I just don't need as much sleep. I just crushed Katara. I know that people say that, right? As you get older, you don't need quite as much sleep, and I kind of just feel that's one of those changes that's slowly but surely happening, is not needing nearly as much sleep.
It opened.
Alright, so what are we trying to accomplish here exactly? Okay, are we just using that to stand on? Not sure I quite understand this one. Or is that just so Katara can get over because she doesn't have a double jump and it doesn't teleport her like it does everywhere else? Guess so. Okay. Alright, this one's actually making me think a little bit, and it's making me feel stupid, so... I guess we finally got a little bit of a challenge. We can get her past there, but she also can't change. We can't bend while holding that, so... I'm assuming this is not the solution, is to blow this over and then swap characters and run through. Yeah, that won't work. I don't know, chat. Am I just being dumb, chat? Do you see it? Because I'm not seeing it on how to get this thing to move where I want to go. Apparently I can just blow it back that way, but that's obviously not the right solution. Actually, does that work? No, you can't jump while you're holding the thing, so it won't let us do that. That's where it started. Oh, I see it. Finally. That took me way longer than it should have, I feel like. There we go. It should not have been that hard. That one's on me. That's embarrassing.
It's unlocked now.
All right, I think we've had enough of this. I think I'm going to swap over to City Skyline. Like I said, I don't see this improving in any way, shape, or form.
Aang entered the spirit world for the first
Let's see what the spirit world looks like really quick.
What?
They just skipped the spirit world altogether? Boo. Okay. Yeah, that's enough of that. I feel like we gave that game a fair shot, and I will be happy to return that. Very glad to not pay full price for that. That is not a full price game in any way, shape, or form. That's ooh. They were talking about there was a Reddit article with Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out here soon. There were some developers talking about how games should be based on how long you play them and not just a set like flat cost. So games like Animal Crossing and Grand Theft Auto and Skyrim that you play for thousands of hours should cost more than games that you don't play as long. Excuse me. And while that makes sense to some degree, certainly, I like right there, it probably would have saved us some money. It certainly isn't always a good idea. Let's see here. I need to fix this and fix. There we go. Okay, let's keep building our city. We can do that for a little bit. We got a little bit of time before I gotta go do more dishes. I tell you, the dishes never end. I was texting Evie today. I was just like, I don't know how you do it with the dishes, because it's like, all right, I did the dishes. Now I got to make dinner. And since I made dinner, now there's even more dishes, and it just never ends. And then we're going to eat dinner, and then that's going to generate more dishes. And it never ends on the dishes. Let them set their price so high and no one will buy it. See, that's how it would work in a free market, and I don't necessarily have a problem with that, but we do have a problem in our society where kids are told that pirating and stealing games is morally acceptable. Like, if you go on Reddit, any subreddit, like the EA subreddit or anything like that, will tell you that it's morally acceptable to steal video games because they don't like the video game maker. And there's a lot of kids who are unfortunately buying into this idea that it's okay to steal because you disagree with the company. And it's an absolutely awful thing that these kids are being taught from the subreddit on that. And I couldn't disagree more, but I don't have a way of stopping them, of course. All right, we need another power plant. We are low on power. Let's see where we can... If they pirate, then they'll get no money anyway, so it's all the same. Sort of, but I can't agree with piracy on games. I know, like I said, that a lot of people are like, oh, it's morally acceptable, you can do it, that it doesn't hurt anyone. But I take such a strong stance against it that I don't want to see people driven to piracy for the sake of, I really want to play the game, but I don't want to buy it, so I'm just going to steal. Like, that just seems like such a bad position to put people into. Temptation should not be there. Ooh, we're losing some money again, probably because of that new power plant. Our production is way, way up on our production. Let's see, we need some housing again, it looks like. That's right, we were having problems with traffic, right? I think it's acceptable on games that are no longer made, and the impairs won't receive any money anyways, and on games you already own but on your computer. Yeah, so if you already own a game, that's not piracy. You're legally allowed, as far as I understand, I'm not a lawyer, to make copies of a game that you already own. That's definitely something you can do. And if a game is abandonware, there's definitely some interesting middle ground when it comes to abandonware. You know, like there was a Burger King game, Sneak King, that came out with, like, if you bought a Whopper or something back in 2006, you got a piece of shovelware game, and that's no longer made, but it is a piece of art in the way that video games are art, so it shouldn't be completely abandoned. So should there be a way to access that? Definitely. Oh, that is a bad traffic jam. Look at that traffic jam. That's backed up all the way. That's backed up all the way across this bridge. And then we got okay, so this traffic jam, we've got to do something about this. We need to fix our roads. Road services. First, we need a light there to fix that traffic jam. Put a light there. Need a light there. We need another road. How are we gonna do this? So it's getting all jammed up. All jammed up through here. Okay. Here's how we're gonna fix this. Let's do a road connecting like that, so that they can turn off a little bit sooner before they get in there to these streets that aren't as congested. And then we're gonna need to upgrade these roads, right? I know we're gonna have to tear down some houses to make this work, but there's just an upgrade tool that I can do rather than rebuilding all these roads. Can I? No. Oh. Then it must be done. And then let's put some roundabouts in there. That should speed those up. Okay, let's see how much of a difference does all this road make. Alright, that does not look safe. I think I made it worse. I think I made it worse. However, the traffic... Oh, no, it's still backed up. I thought I made this a 2-lane. Okay, what are you guys waiting for here?
You're not good, dude.
No, I think I messed up the traffic something fierce here. Because this is still... Alright. Can I delete? Can I delete the light? Is the light part of the problem? We got to put in some more housing too. People are desperate for housing. Should be good housing, right? Okay, we can live on this little island. And what if we connect you? No. Connect like that. I'm sure that's not going to be good either. The mods for City ones were awesome. The traffic light and lane direction mods made the game so much better. That's actually something they talked about really interestingly. They said when they were making the game, there was a lot of like they took the mods into consideration and said, "Wow, these mods made the game so much better. So you know, we're going to include them in the next game," and that made a big difference for people to be able to enjoy the game, was adding the mods that were already added in. So, all right, maybe this will clean. If we put some parking lots in here, will that get like some of these people off the road? Because like there's parked cars in the middle of the street, and maybe that's a part of the problem too. So maybe if they start filling up these parking lots. Where are all y'all going? How are you finding the map size? Does it feel bigger? Oh, it feels way, like, huge compared to the original. Like, this is the entire map. Like, this city already feels big like the last one, and I feel like we could definitely end up bigger than the original. Like, that's absolutely huge. Now, some of it, like, I don't know, what am I going to do with this? Like, if I buy part of the mountain, like, what am I going to do with the mountain? But, it's astronomically huge. Sewer's backing up. Uh-oh, let's see what's going on here. We're running low on water. We're not trading any water, and our sewage treatment plant can't handle any more. Okay. Let's put that in, and then let's... Where's our water pump? Should be right... Where did we start? Somewhere up here. This one, right? We already upgraded that, so we need a whole new water pump, unfortunately. Can you use terrain tools to flatten the mountain? You know, maybe. I certainly haven't tried. Maybe well, there's a mountain there, right? So let me fix... Okay, sewage treatment's better. Neckbeard Mike's Comics. Okay, so we fixed the sewage problems. We're working on the housing crisis. Building some houses. So terrain tools. Landscaping. The answer is yes. We could flatten this mountain down completely if we wanted to. So yeah, that is an option. Good to know. All right, so everyone needs to get over here. So we need to find a new way for people to get over here.
Pending updates to our power grid, the city will be experiencing rolling blackouts. We urge the public to remain calm during these breaks in service and to follow the guidelines on the city's website on how to plan for these temporary events. This has been a local public service announcement.
I have no idea how to fix this. This is why I'm not a city planner. I have no idea how to fix the problem over there.
Finest classical music on the air. Keep that dial right here.
And on to our main feature story. The commercial district is booming as the area is attracting more high-end stores, bringing the latest in luxury to our neighborhood. You can now shop for designer shoes while sipping a fancy local Jarva mate. Or so my wife tells me. That's good for business and good for the community.
Thanks, Jim. We'll be back after this.
All right, they want medium density housing and commercial, huh?
About hitting the streets, you can expect delays on the major roads, especially during rush hour.
Good to know, Jim. Seems like everyone is in a hurry to get somewhere fast. It's worth slowing down. And if you can, plan your trip outside the rush.
Oh, I don't know. I'd rather wait an hour in traffic than to have to start thinking about everything all the time. Besides, if I did that, I'd never get anywhere.
There are so many possibilities. All right. We got some special buildings, too. We already built that one. We still need the film actor mansion. Let's put that right up there. People still complaining about healthcare. What's wrong with the healthcare, bros? There's still capacity. There's cemetery availability. What's wrong with the healthcare? Like, there's plenty of healthcare available. No one's outside the jurisdiction. Like, why are you always complaining about healthcare? Okay, these guys are not getting enough customers because of the terrible, terrible traffic. And I can see why. I would not want to drive in this town. That is clearly an issue. So how do we fix... Okay, I have an idea. I have an idea how we can fix this. What if we take one of these big roads? Like if we take here. We need to delete this water zone. How do I delete? Boat. Can we delete this water zone? No. Okay, this is okay. We just need to go around it. If we take one of these asymmetrical things. Get in the zone, water zone. That does not help. Okay. We connect that to that so that the traffic's a little bit better. And then we're going to need to... connect you here. Okay, that That should alleviate some of the traffic, right? And then we're going to make these roads even bigger. Problem is, they're all going down here. I need a highway. I need large roads. I need some larger roads. They need to make a mod that just like automatically fixes roads. I need a mod that unjams traffic, because I don't know how to fix this. Put in a new road there. Put in a road there. Okay. Last ditch effort. Oh, we're almost out of... Oh, no, we still got some money. What if I do this? What if I take a road? Right. Oh, wait, the traffic jams are getting better. Look at that. I'm solving traffic. There's only a few jams left. And up that road. Up that road to be even bigger. What if instead you just got good at the game? That is incredibly difficult to do. Dexter's here. Hello, Dexter. We've been waiting for you, Dexter. Now we need to connect. Why aren't these roads connected? Emmy and I... Oh, well, shoot, we messed that up. Emmy and I were having a discussion yesterday. And we were talking about the song Fast Car, originally by... Tracy something, but it was recently redone by Luke Combs. He redid the song in 2023, just a couple months ago, and people are going absolutely crazy for it. And like all props to that guy. He did an amazing job on the song. And Emmy said you would be proud of me for having such liking such a good song. And I said, I don't think Dexter likes country music, so I don't think that is one that you'll be proud of me for. This game is so hard. I've never heard of someone playing a city game where it didn't end in complete destruction. I mean, my people are happy enough, right? They're happy enough. Sometimes it's not about winning; it's about being happy enough, right? We just need them to be happy enough. I don't care for country, but he did an alright job. Okay. And I actually knew who sang it, so that was the impressive part, was knowing who sang it. I hate that song, full stop. Okay. Do you hate it because of the song? Or do you hate it because it gives you depression? Because every time I listen to that song, it makes me sad. I was telling Emmy, I know that it's like so 15-year-old emo of me to be like, oh, the song lyrics, they speak to me. But when they're talking about, like, I have to make a decision, either stay here forever or live a new life, leave, like, I feel that way with this house sometimes. I feel like we're just trapped in this house and that we're always going to be stuck here. And if we don't just pack up and leave, we're going to live in this house for the rest of our lives. So, like, I feel it. I feel it on a certain level, so... Our town is about ready to level up again. Alright, how's our fire hazard and coverage is very bad. Okay. We could probably use a new firehouse then. Let's fix that. How's crime? We have some jail availability, no prison. We don't have very much crime in this city, so that's a good thing. Not a whole lot of crime. Let's throw a couple parks up here. Park there. Everyone like that. People are happy. I don't know what it is about the song, I just don't like it. I mean, that's valid too, right? Don't have to like every song. Not electricity, not enough water. We have plenty of electricity. And plenty of water. You know, sometimes you just hear a song and you're like, that's not a good song. I hear that often, but when I hear that, it upsets y'all, so... I don't know that I necessarily know that feeling fully, because, like... Bohemian Rhapsody. I hear Bohemian Rhapsody, and I know that people love it, like, as a meme, but, like... I don't hear it as a good song. All I hear is a bunch of random noises. Like, that's how that song is for me. Like, I don't understand why people turned it into a meme. I don't understand why people love that song so much when it's just random noises, you know? Fix the crime problem. We don't have a crime problem. There's no one in jail. There's literally 0 citizens in jail. How can I have a crime problem if there's no one in jail? There, I built a new police station. Will that solve the problem? Let's not get carried away. How's my garbage doing? Our garbage processing is doing poorly. All right, let's get another dump going here since our garbage is going poorly. And let's not put it right in the middle of the town. So how about we put it right there? We've got our big town. We've got high density housing. We got more loans. We got some development points. We need more transportation. We need a tram. We definitely need a tram. Definitely need a subway. Let's get a fire station. Hospital, crematorium, we have all that. Let's get an incinerator plant.
A driving advisory has
we need a highway really bad and a large road. Okay. We've got a bunch of stuff to fix the city with here. So first, we need a road.
Second Moon Radio with your host, J. Thomas Hornbuckle. Tune in tomorrow for a second chance to hear the music of yesteryear.
This just in from traffic. If you're thinking about hitting the streets, you can expect delays on the major roads, especially during rush hour.
Good to know, Jim. Seems like everyone is in a hurry to get somewhere fast. It's worth slowing down. And if you can, plan your trip outside the rush.
Oh, I don't know. I'd rather wait an hour in traffic than to have to start thinking about time. Besides, if I did that...
Okay, that was poorly planned on my part.
And on to our main feature story.
But there we go. Okay, our trash is taken care of. Now we need a subway to alleviate all this traffic.
You can now
let us
shop
build
the designer
trams
shoes
and
while
subways
sipping a fancy
to
local
fix
yerba mate.
our horrible
For
town
someone
once and for all.
That's good for business and good for the community.
Thanks, Jim.
Okay.
We'll be back after this.
Subway station. We're gonna have to demolish some housing for this, right? We need the subway to be like right here where all the problem is. There we go. We've got a subway station. Okay. You know what? I need a volcano. You know, a volcano might actually solve some of these problems. So you're not wrong. Not wrong there. So we put one subway in there. The subway in there. A subway in there. And one in there. Okay, I have a feeling like I'm messing these subways up, so something. There's the subway entrance. Connect to subway. Okay, let's start you there. Does the path failing failed though? Does it have to be straight? Like, does this? I've never ridden on a subway. I don't think. Does the subway have to be like perfectly straight? Is that why this isn't working? Like, is it because it's underground to underground? Why is the subway not? Why is the subway not working? What did I mess up? What are the other things I got? I got an incinerator. We can't build the hospital yet. Got a university. Okay. Well. Our subways are efficient, but they're not being used because they're not connected to anything, and I have no idea how to connect the subway to something. I'm not sure what we can do about that. I built a subway yard. Does that help? I got subway tracks, but that's overground, right? I need underground. I've got the stations. Do I need overground stations for it to connect to? I really don't understand this. I really do need a volcano to just come wipe this out, because I messed this up severely. All right, let's build one more just to test a theory. Is it that they just need to be like in a straight line? Like if I build one right there, and this can subway connect to that subway? No. Okay, I need underground subway tracks somehow. And I'm missing something. Is it technically a road? Is that what we need? Is a underground subway? No, it's not that. Does this game allow you to have different land types, mountainous terrain islands? Yes. Bubble and I were just talking about that. So my map has full-on mountains here. So I was playing with the terrain tool. So you get mountains, you can work with the mountains, or you can flatten them. You can also have, like, I've got like an island out here connected to roads. So yes, you can do that. Okay, I think I'm figuring this out. My subway is there. So I can select that. This is very tough to get the subways working. Connect to that. So you can definitely build more like islandy cities, or if you want a challenge with that, you can definitely make that work. I'm just not at that point as of yet. Because I'm struggling with subways still. See, that's above ground. That's not what we want. Don't need parallel. Okay, there we go. We got the subway starting to work. All right, we're getting the subway to work. We're working this out. Okay, now we go. What are you overlapping with? Over here. No, it doesn't like that. Still says that's too tight.
Pending updates to our power grid, the city will be experiencing rolling blackouts. We urge the public to remain calm during these breaks in service and to follow the guidelines on the city's website on how to plan for these temporary events. This has been a local public service announcement. Recent spikes in demand have led to temporary local shortages in the city's fresh water supply. The public should be aware that we are struggling to get the situation in hand. This has been a local public service announcement.
Struggling really bad with getting these curves just correct, but we're really making progress still, so
And we're pervading some of the finest classical music.
we can do this.
Keep that dial right here.
We're live, and we're getting reports about a traffic accident somewhere in the city.
Road maintenance services have already been
There we
dispatched,
go.
and traffic
Connect
flow
that
should
one.
return to normal. But if you're planning a quick trip out, you might want to wait a little while until everything clears up.
If you're in it, you already know about it. No use reminding you. Meanwhile, expect delays and drive safe. This just in from traffic. If you're thinking about hitting the streets, you can expect delays on the major roads, especially during rush hour.
All right, we've got a subway
No, Jim. Seems like everyone's
connected
in a hurry
here.
to get
Now we
somewhere
just need to
fast.
fix
It's worth
this.
slowing down. And if you can, plan your trip outside the rush.
Oh, I don't know. I'd rather wait an hour in traffic than to have to start thinking about everything all the time. Besides, if I did that, I'd never get anywhere.
This is such a waste of city money. This would be like a scandal waiting to happen. All right. Our subways are connected. That should alleviate some traffic, right? Hopefully. Hopefully that alleviates some traffic. We cannot afford Any more traffic in this town, I'll tell you what. Put some nice housing out here. We need some office space up in here too. Oh, actually they used it, so. All right, our happiness is high. Our traffic is sort of resolved. Still got a little bit of bad traffic there, but look at those guys go. And hopefully, people are using the subway. Says they are not using the subway. Oh, these curves are still too tight. If they don't want to use that subway, then use the volcano. I don't think you can, to be honest. I have not seen a natural disaster button as of yet, honestly. I know on the other one you could just unleash the pain on them, but I don't see a natural disaster button, to be honest. I don't know if you can do that. If you see one that I'm not seeing, definitely tell me. I'll unleash a volcano, but I don't see a natural disaster button like the other games. Or is that SimCity that... No. City Skylines has a natural disaster button, right? Alright, build all those commercial buildings, put it in. Let's see here. We've got zoning, areas, signature buildings, roads, parks, city economy, transportation, underground, event journal. No, I don't see natural disasters. That's weird. No, that curve is still too tight. I suck at subways. What kind of city simulator doesn't let you terrorize the inhabitants? It does seem strange. I feel like there's been that in the previous games. So you're all right. That does seem strange that you can't teach all the people a lesson. I'll have to Google it because I don't see an option for that right now, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, right? What does that mean? What does that symbol? It means pedestrians can't get there. We don't care about the pedestrians right now. All we care about is making our subways run. All right, we're making it work. All right, now our subway should be functioning. So we better see some people using these subways and detracting from that traffic. I don't know, let's see. Let's Google it really quick and see if we can summon a volcano for Dexter. It's not an option, yeah. Okay, that's gotta be, like, no doubt they're gonna make a mod, right? They have to make a mod that allows you to summon natural disasters. Like, that's half the fun of the game, is making the perfect town and then burying it under meteors or destroying it or, you know, something of that nature. So that's very strange because SimCity, like every SimCity has had it. City Skyline 1 had it. Like, that is strange that they removed such a thing that's been in the series for so long. All right, we're going to let the demand go up. I've got to use the restroom really quick, so we're going to let the game keep running, and I'll be right back. I'm also very proud to announce I just checked on my loaf of bread that I'm making, and that loaf of bread looks absolutely delicious. So I think I cooked a good loaf of bread. It looks like it rose. Yeah, it looks like it did that okay. It smells good. Hi, Emmy. So we'll see if I manage to make a acceptable loaf of bread. But I think I did. Then we'll see about dinner as well, which we're trying. I'm trying to be a better cook. The chili didn't turn out so great. I mean, I still ate it. It was just too watery. Today is going to be a chicken Alfredo sort of thing that I'm making, so we'll see.
Until conditions improve.
Do you trust this man with bread? So she let me make a loaf of bread once before, and I tried freestyling it, you know, putting my own spin on it, and no. So I did it right this time. I followed the instructions, and it looks like it turned out okay. How was it watery? You don't freestyle baking that. That is what Emmy said. She said that baking is a science. You don't get to just freestyle it and do whatever you want.
Using only their imaginations as guides through a silent, audible masterpiece. Now here we sit, listening at full volume.
All right, so we got highways now, right? So it's time to upgrade this to a highway.
Industry in the region is on the rise, and when business is doing well, that floats our boat.
There's no sinking this boat, Glenda.
But it was watery because we put a lot of tomato and cucumber in it because it was a vegetable chili, and I think that all that extra water from those things made it that way, not to mention I put a little bit too much vegetable stock into it, so it was partially my fault, but also because it was vegetable chili kind of was part of the problem.
Is the housing shortage going to make me richer?
By certain metrics, perhaps yes, in the short term.
I like the sound of that.
But what we are discussing is the study of a statistical abstraction. And
all right, we've made this a highway, so now there's more room.
It is a question of priority.
Oh, I think we caused a little bit of a wreck on our highway there. Oops, I think we messed up. Why are there people on scooters? Oh, those are motorcycles. Old Man Mariner, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Based Catholic stream. I was just going to ask if you found us through just the gaming or the Catholicism or how you found us, but that answers that. So glad you joined us. I am not going to try and pronounce that. I will admit my Latin is terrible. That is one of my great weaknesses. Is my Latin is very bad. So, you should have seen though. This is actually, I think Dexter could probably speak to this to some degree. On whether or not you would be offended by this, Dexter. It says prefer nothing above Christ. I love that. I'm not going to say it in Latin, but I love that. Someone was talking about on the Christian and Catholic forums yesterday on if an atheist told you that they were interested in learning about your religion, but they had no interest in converting, and made it clear that the conversation was, this is strictly an academic learning. Would you still teach them about Christianity? And My answer was that the often a atheist's first step to converting is them saying, "I will never convert." So you can definitely teach them if they want to learn about it, because our job isn't necessarily to convert people, right? It's God who opens people's heart. It's God who truly does that. But if you just say, "No, I'm not going to teach you because you're not interested in converting," I don't think you're giving them a fair chance to really get that opportunity, right? It's called Reddit, but go on. I say Christian forum as general because there's multiple sides to Reddit, right? There's the Christianity subreddit, which is just absolutely terrible because it's moderated as a place to discuss Christianity, but it's not a Christian place. And then you have like the Catholicism subreddit that is moderated as a Catholic subreddit. So I consider them almost completely separate forums altogether, because one is treated as this is a Catholic space, this is a Christian space, and everything needs to be oriented towards that. And the other is treated as this is a place where you can discuss Christianity, but it is not a Christian place. And those are two very different things when you're discussing the faith and discussing God and all that. There's a huge difference between this is just a place to talk about it and this is a place to live it, you know? You pray for them and stop talking. There definitely is a time to stop talking, right? There's a lot of people on Reddit who feel the need to infiltrate, is what they call it, where it's like, well, I'm a Christian, but I'm going to go into all the non-Christian subreddits and I'm going to go preach to them. Like, I don't really think that accomplishes much, right? Going into a place like the subreddit for religious trauma, for example, going into a place where people are trying to recover from religious trauma and saying that Jesus loves you and I'm going to preach to you, that's not exactly the most appropriate time or place for that, right? Like, and as you do that, it's going to make Catholics look bad, and it's going to help prevent people from wanting to be interested. There are 3 things we can do to atheists as far as I know. Prove God's existence rationally, give them reasons of credibility, such as the miracles of St. Padre Pio. Pray for them, and that if you're willing to talk, if they are willing to talk to you, praying is the best because ultimately God is the one converting. I definitely think that there's a lot of accuracy to that. I know there's a lot of atheists who it's just, show me the proof. And we have things like Thomas Aquinas and his proofs, right? But as far as I have seen, most people who are looking for proof are not looking for things like Thomas Aquinas's proofs. Do you know Pints with Aquinas and the Catholic Gentleman podcast? I know of Pints with Aquinas. I haven't listened to a whole lot of Pints with Aquinas, to be honest. I've never heard of Catholic Gentleman. I'll have to check them out. I just started chatting with a smaller Catholic podcast called Honest to God, and they're based out of Georgia, I believe. And I've been chatting a lot with them, and they're a really cool podcast. And then I'm hoping, fingers crossed, hoping that Emmy and I can start our own Catholic podcast we've been talking about for a while, but we want to add our voice to the chorus and start our Catholic podcast sometime in the next few weeks. So hopefully at some point you'll be able to add our podcast to your repertoire. That's always, I know it's maybe a little selfish, maybe a little prideful. Not sure if that's the right way to put it. Like when people talk about their favorite Catholic podcasts, I would certainly love to someday be a part of that, to be when people are talking about that they mention our podcast. I definitely think that would be cool, but I don't know. I don't know if that's supposed to be a goal or not, checking your socials. I don't know if any of my socials honestly work from from any of my Twitch anymore. I stopped Instagram. And I stopped TikTok, but I still am pretty active on YouTube. Just put my nature walk with God up there. And I'm gonna wag my finger at my chat now for that. My statistics say that y'all didn't watch my new video. What's up with that, chat? What's up with that? How do I know? I'll tell you how I know. Because it says only one person looked at the video and then they commented on it. So that's how I know y'all weren't watching my new videos, because only one person watched it. I work, man. Valid excuse. I accept that as an excuse. I know work gets in the way of doing all the podcasts and all the fun and all the things we want to do, we don't get to do because work. I was telling Emmy, kind of on the topic of work, 2024, man, that year is gonna suck for taxes. I'll be working a new job, hopefully, which means I'll have a W-2 from my old place of employment, a W-2 from my new place of employment. I'm gonna be taking a lump sum on my severance check, so that will affect my taxes. I'll have my business, I'll have unemployment, and then with any luck, I will get my first payout from Twitch at the start of next year as well. So that's going to be a huge pain in the rear for taxes to try and figure out multiple jobs, unemployment, Twitch, and all that. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm happy for it. I'm definitely happy that I'll finally get that big fat check from Twitch, right? $50. Which I'm confident, I looked at the stats, like 40 of those $50 is from Emmy buying me subs, and then like $5 of that is from ad revenue, a year's worth of ad revenue from ads that I told it not to play, but it continues to play for whatever reason. So thank you to Sohn and Dexter and Bubble for all you putting up with the random 1 or 2 ads it puts there, here or there, because together you've raised $5 for me, and that puts us $5 closer to my computer upgrade. So every little bit, right? Every little bit. LFG chat goated. I talked to Emmy about this and she just immediately said no. I was looking at it and I did the math, and if I no longer streamed on Twitch, if I moved over to YouTube and y'all watched me on YouTube, I would be able to monetize my YouTube channel without showing you guys ads. So I considered maybe dropping Twitch and moving over to YouTube, but Emmy was immediately just like, no, YouTube is so much worse to watch on than Twitch. So since it's not about the money, I will remain on Twitch since it is easier, convenient, and apparently all around better. So It really is. See, I'm one of those hypocrites. I stream, but I don't watch streams. So I've never watched a stream on YouTube. I don't really watch streams on Twitch, so I really don't know if it's really any better or worse, to be honest, because I've never really used it. I only followed one gamer on YouTube and he became insufferable, so I gave up on it. I feel like there are many days where I teeter on that line for you, Dexter. I truly do. I feel like that line of insufferability is always just one influencer away. One influencer comment away.
What's up, honey? Me and my sister love.
We need a new elementary school, it looks like. Okay.
Clarinets and violins.
How about up there?
Most music these days.
I am the line.
Traced back to the great Haydn himself.
I guess I should be proud of that. I am proud to be the line.
A raison.
Isn't that a I can get this. That's a
Whoever you got playing the keys got more funk in his
Johnny Cage song. I Walk the Line.
That ain't funk.
Like the Joaquin Phoenix movie. Hardline, Walk the Line.
Classical music has been known since the time of the early
Something like that.
Funk, by contrast, is an
Johnny Cash.
conceit, and you'll find
Johnny Cash.
As they say, is for the lay person. Now, let's hear another one of those soul.
I got it. It took me a second, but I got it.
The commercial district is booming as the area is attracting more high-end stores, bringing the latest in luxury to our neighborhood. You can now shop for designer shoes while sipping a fancy local Jarva mate. Or so my wife tells me. That's good for business and good for the community.
Thanks, Jim. We'll be back after this. Industry in the region is on the rise, and when business is doing well, that floats our boat.
There's no sinking this boat, Glenda.
It's not my fault that all their names sound similar. An electricity bottleneck has formed. Somewhere there are electric cables or lines that have exceeded their capacity. Find the electrical cable and... Okay. So, we need to figure out... Something's gone horribly wrong here. We need to build a transformer station. Maybe here? Okay, that solved it. Bottleneck crisis solved. And some new buildings there. Traffic is still looking pretty bad in the city, but that subway really cut down on some of these issues, so... let's put some more parking in. It looks like we could really use a real parking structure. There. And maybe over here. Alright, let's see how well this fills up. I wonder if there's... one of the games, I can't remember if it was SimCity or if it was City Skyline 1, but you could like do city ordinances, and I feel like I need a city ordinance that says you're not allowed to park on the street. I feel like the street parking is a huge part of the problem. So if I could get some of these Oh, nope. The bottleneck's back. Okay, does that solve the problem? Hmm. Okay. Now I need to connect. Think it was the first one? Okay. This is not solving the bottleneck. Okay, we can do this. We can fix this. Okay. Well, that solved the bottleneck. Alright, bottleneck is solved. Now we need even more residential stuff, though. We're running out of place for residential. Oh my goodness, these people... They need to start living in apartments or something. Like, all these single housing areas is just ruining all the space I have. Can smell that bread and that chicken baking. It smells so good. Alright, that should be more than enough housing for people, but they're gonna have to live next to the dump, so that's not my fault. I'm just running out of room here. These poor people are building houses right next to the dump. Bring a lot of garbage too. I'm gonna need an incinerator here soon. What we got going on down here? We've got a bunch of air pollution. We got bottlenecks here still. And then they'll complain about being next to the dump. I mean, the dump was there first, so if you're buying a house right next to the dump, I don't feel like you get to complain about living next to the dump, right? Like, we live right next to the train tracks. And yes, it's annoying, but I don't get to complain about the train, right? Because I know that we live right next to the train tracks, and inevitably there's going to be a train, right? Like, I knew that when we moved here that we were going to have to deal with the train, so... These people are wealthy. Really, the wealthy houses are right next to the dump? You built an expensive house next to the dump? Again, that's not on me. This is backed up all the way. You know, I built the wrong road there. That's why. We need a 5-lane highway. Is what we need. They're hippie wealthy, have to smell the compost, be one with nature. Living close to Earth destruction is enlightening. Alright, these people are getting a new highway. That will hopefully help with some of this traffic. Oh, I created some massive gridlock there. That's an unhappy place to live right there. I feel like I have to like buy a book on how to make roads, like how to be a city planner to be any good at this game. Like, because these roads are just horrible. All right.
Driving advisory has been issued for the immediate area due to...
Oh, man.
Please exercise caution if you must drive and try to stay off the streets until conditions improve. This has been a local...
Coop's Declassified City Survival Guide.
Updates to our power grid. The city
Put the wealthy houses next to the dump. Make sure that all cities have roundabouts.
This has been a local public
that will fix Like, I wonder how much it will fix. Like, if I go in here and I grab I grab a roundabout and put a roundabout here.
More challenging sphere of the classical genre. Let us move now from the musical page to the literary. Here we have some.
If I put roundabouts in here, will that solve some of the traffic problems?
Whereas I make no apology for my eerie detail, the modesty demands that I prevaricate against.
Well, it is solving some of the traffic problems, actually. It looks like maybe roundabouts was the solution. Look at them go.
Merely from a life devoted to the gentle arts. Though I do.
Why are so many people coming down here?
To continue, Professor Hornbuckle.
They're going up here.
As a traveler from my homeland, I long to hear a tune that speaks to the anguish of my low, weary soul. There now, my good fellow, chin up, as it were. No need.
There we go. I was right. Roundabouts solve the problem.
Leave that to those poet chaps. Eh? Here's a tune just for you, and I do hope it provides your aching spirit some modest consolation.
Industry in the region is on the rise, and when business is doing well, that floats our boat.
There's no sinking this boat, Glenda. This just in from traffic. If you're thinking about hitting the streets, you can expect delays on the major roads, especially during rush hour.
Good to know, Jim. Seems like everyone is in a hurry to get somewhere fast. It's worth slowing down. And if you can, plan your trip outside the rush.
Oh, I don't know. I'd rather wait an hour in traffic than to have to start thinking about everything all the time.
These people live next to the airport.
I never got anywhere.
That's shut down. New housing, new housing. There we go. Couple offices just in case people want to... The smog is unbearable. I do not know what to do about the smog, citizens, so I am sorry about the smog. I do not know how I can fix that. Oh, it looks like we have people using the subway. We got some people finally using the subway, so that's good. Why are so many people wanting to live to this city? There's 17,000 people in this city and there's like a 5-hour wait on the highways. Why are people moving here? Like, I did the highways for a year, 2 years of just sitting in traffic. I would not want to have to put up with this. Why are so many people wanting to move here? I don't get it. I wonder if this will help. I doubt it. What happens if I do this? Well, it cut down on traffic up there, but I'm not sure that it really made that much of a difference. how huge the city is. I think Dexter's right, though. I think we need a volcano to, bring this thing down to its knees. But this is a terrible city to live in. The self-awareness that your city is horrible. Well, like, I grew up in a town that was a little under 17,000, granted, but, like, traffic was never this terrible, right? Like, you expect that from a city like New York or something where you're going to sit in traffic for 3 hours, but I don't know about living in a town of 17,000 and having to wait 5 hours just to go to the mall, you know? Like, I just don't know why they're saying yes to that. I'm basically out of room to build, so we're gonna have to buy some more land over here and just keep... Like, there's no planning going on here. People just keep demanding houses, so I'm building roads, but... Like, at a certain point, the city's gotta think about firing me and putting in, like, an actual city planner who knows how to do something other than make these weird, terrible square shapes and fill it full of rich people housing. But apparently this is what the people want, so... Look at that, they're building houses right away. 17K and 5-hour traffic seems suspicious, like something is seriously wrong. Oh, I don't disagree, something is seriously wrong. We've got a car on fire over here. Oh, it's snowy, so all the cars are flying off the road. I wonder how many traffic accidents there are all over the city now. Like, look at that. Those cars are covered in snow from just sitting there. They're literally getting a pileup of snow. And there was an interesting article I did read on this that a big contributing factor to the traffic jams is actually pedestrians. The pedestrians like to just randomly cross the street, but like one pedestrian crossing the street slowly can absolutely like lock down a street for extended period of time. Like those guys crossing there cause 3 cars to wait there. So when you have too much residential where there's people crossing streets and such, it can cause so many problems. Alright, let's build a crematorium. Maybe that will stop people from complaining about healthcare, because I feel like the healthcare is fine. But there, a crematorium. Will that fix the... Will that fix people's complaining about the healthcare? There's now crematoriums available for everyone. Right in the middle of the residential districts, but again, who cares? I need a natural disaster. We do. We need to wipe this town out. It's got some real problems. Like, could you imagine, like, if you live here, This is all residential. So if you want a job, you have to come over here, which means you need to go to this crossing here. It's like, look how terrible that is. Do you seriously want to make that drive every day? I don't. And yet 150 people just moved to town. We're losing money hand over fist. Why are we losing so much money? Guess it's our loan that we need to pay back. We could tax people. That would get them out of here. All right. We paid back our loans at least a little bit, so... Oh, we just hit a huge deficit. What just happened? We got hit hard. My city's a death trap. It is. It is definitely a death trap. But you know what'll fix the death trap? Roundabouts. We just need to put in a few more roundabouts. That will certainly... What is what? This? This is where pedestrians cross the street and you merge from one highway into another highway, into another highway, into a residential district. There's traffic lights that look right there, see? There's a traffic light right there. It is the sketchiest road. Like, look at how backed up this highway is. Look at how terrible. These cars are getting completely snowed in. Look how far back this traffic goes. Like, traffic is literally backed up into the next town. Like, that is impressive how far back that is backed up. You think that one's bad? Let's go. Where's the other bad one? Up in here? Or did we... Looks like we finally solved this traffic crisis up here. This one's kind of backed up. Like, these guys are backed up into the city up here. Yeah, I don't know how to fix... I don't know how to fix this, though. This is definitely a huge pain. Actually, no. What happens if I do this? Let's grab a highway, and we do... What happens if we do that? Actually, delete that. Elevation down.
Advisory has been issued for the immediate area due to poor road conditions. Please
Okay.
exercise caution if you must.
Will that help?
And try to stay off the streets until conditions improve. This has been a local public service announcement.
That is not helping. They don't want to go over there. We can at least make this bigger, though, right? We can make this a 4-lane.
And to follow the guidelines on the city's website on how to plan for these temporary events. This has been a local public service announcement.
This is Second Moon with J. Thomas Hornbuckle. Before we dive into our next selection, I'd like to take
let's expand the highway so it's at least a little bit bigger.
Structure of the symphonic work.
Oh, what did I do? Oh, I made it worse.
First,
I made it much worse.
The al dente section.
I was just trying to give them more room.
Savoring the vivacious anti-pasto movement. So, without further ado, let's raise the curtain.
Will Roundabout fix that? No, it will not.
Our main feature story.
Look at how terrible that is.
As the area is attracting more high-end stores, bringing the latest in luxury.
They're having to literally stop and turn around on the highway to make that turn.
Local Jarva, or so my wife tells me. That's good for business.
Maybe it's time to learn some civil engineering.
We'll be back after this.
Hey, I can fix this. I can do this.
On the rise, and when business is doing well, that floats our boat.
There's no sinking this boat, Glenda.
What if we do that? Okay, that's alleviating some traffic. I think. Okay, I got an idea. What if we bulldoze that, and then we make a one-way? We start here. And then we go up and over the highway? Okay. What if that change just fixes traffic here? Oh no, that ruined the water flow. Okay, we need to get these guys some water stat. Oh, look at that. It says I have a great town. I'm doing just fine. Thank you very much, everyone. Look at that. It says it's a great town. Ooh, yes, let's unlock better intersections. That feels like maybe that's a good idea. Better roundabouts, too. And better parking. Okay. Okay, we're solving this. We're gonna fix this. Okay, that should get everyone some water back. No. We might need to start over. I think I broke something really bad here. Because I don't know how we lost all the water. But we did get very large roundabouts that seem to Like, look at that thing. Look at that roundabout go. Yeah, this city might be, this city might be ruined. Look, everyone's moving out of the city. We might have broke this city beyond repair. I think we ruined the city, y'all. We did it, Patrick! We saved the city! We're losing 5,000 people an hour, so something went heinously wrong here. There's no power, there's no water. Alright, we doomed those poor people. We're gonna have to try again. I think we broke the city. But I've been streaming for 3 hours. I think it's time for me to go because I gotta go check on the chicken, check on all the other stuff, and then get ready to go pick up Emmy. So we're gonna exit, pretend like that never happened. I think we're gonna have to start over and try and plan a little bit better going forward. The poor townspeople. I still don't have my prayer screen back up. I've still got some work to do on the stream as I'm recovering from all the things that broke. So I apologize. You're going to have to deal with just my logo for a second when it finally loads back over to that. Tell me you're not a city planner. I could get my degree. Maybe that's what I should do with all this free time now that I'm unemployed. Maybe I can get my degree in civil engineering so I can be better at video games. So let me kill the camera here, and we will end, as we always do, with our prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Lord, today we pray for all the people who are caught out in the rain, in the freezing temperatures, in natural disasters. Lord, help to provide them with food, water, and shelter, everything that they need to get through these hardships. We pray for the intentions of the Pope, the Holy Father, that there may be more peace among us all, that we may all grow closer to Christ through the Pope's intentions and the Pope's teaching. We pray for all the countries that are currently at war, or all the people suffering from the outcomes of war. Lord, help to bring about peace. And finally, we pray for those who have no one left to pray for themselves, those holy souls who are forgotten in purgatory. Lord, help them to enter your everlasting kingdom. All this we pray in the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you all for hanging out with me today. We should be back at it tomorrow. Probably more City Skyline unless a different game shows up. We'll probably start a new town and start over there. Old Mariner, you're back. Welcome. Sorry, if you went to go check out the socials, I don't do much on social media, much more, mostly YouTube, but I am going to hopefully, like I said, start some podcasting with my wife soon. That's Lonely Ghost Cottage, Emmy, as well as some photography stuff as I have some extra time. But I'll be back tomorrow, so everyone have a blessed evening. I hope to see you then, and we will talk again soon.